What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about the new Reawakened Beach Festival draw banner. Um, so this banner features four different costumes. These are old costumes, so they were released in the past, and this is the first time they're being released a second time. Um, so let's take a look at let's see, where do I here? Here. Okay. Let's take a look at Cloud's costume first, Maritime Sailor. Cloud's costume comes with boost HP, which is always good, or almost always good, and Water Mastery, which gives him 20% extra water damage. You're gonna pair this with his Maritime Sword, which his water physical weapon, and if he ever gets a water magic weapon in the future, you could also use it with that. I say it's a good costume. It's old, so it's not that good compared to what we have now or what we've been getting. But this costume, you pair it with his Maritime Sword. Let's look at it. Here. His Maritime Sword, which is a good weapon also. It can do up to 750 physical water damage. Right? It has good water abilities and circle sigil slot. This is a good weapon to pair with his costume. The problem is Cloud as a physical water damage dealer is outclassed by, I would say, oh, for sure he's outclassed by Glenn. I'll show you. Let's look at Glenn. So Glenn has a costume from the half anniversary, which is a water arcanum, so it gives 35% instead of just 20% from Cloud's mastery. And then Glenn's weapon is also better than Maritime. He has Stream Slasher. They do similar things, but Stream Slasher does 900 instead of 750. So yeah, Glenn is just better than Cloud. So if you have Glenn, you would not want to pull for Cloud. And there is a possibility, no one knows for sure, but there is a possibility that you might be able to pull for the costume and weapon on the 1 year anniversary coming up in September. So if it does return, then Glenn would be more preferable over Cloud. But other than Glenn, there's also 2 banners ago. It's still live for about, I think, 1 or 2 more days. The banner with Sephiroth. So the banner with Sephiroth, look at his costume. He has a water arcanum like Glenn, which does 35% extra water damage. And his weapon, although not as strong as Cloud's numerically, right? Cloud's does 750, while Sephiroth does 700. It's very close, but then Sephiroth also decreases the enemy's water resist to high. So I actually think Sephiroth is just better than Cloud, even though the number is lower. I mean, if you do the math, it does end up actually being higher. If you assume Cloud is not getting support, like someone else reducing the water resist for Cloud, then Sephiroth would be stronger. So, and this banner is live right now. So, I'd honestly, if you need a water user, physical user, I recommend just pulling for Sephiroth instead of Cloud. And one more thing, let's go back. One more thing with Cloud's costume is like it's good, but Cloud actually has other costumes that can go with his Maritime. I don't have them, but the two costumes is the FF9 costume. If you have that, it boosts. I don't remember what it boosts. It boosts like physical damage, physical physical potency, I believe. So anything physical, like his Maritime Sword is physical, so it would get extra damage from that costume. And also Cloud's Monster Hunter costume boosts, same thing, physical potency. So anything physical would be boosted by that. So if you have any of those two costumes for Cloud, you really don't need this. And then, like I said, if you have Glenn, you don't need this. If you have, and right now you could just pull for Sephiroth, so just pull for that. So the only way I could recommend pulling for Cloud's costume is if you have none of what I just said. You don't have any of those. You don't have any of Cloud's previous costumes. You don't have Glenn water setup. You didn't pull for Sephiroth. So if you have none of that, and your Maritime Sword, I would say, is like high OB, so like maybe 5 or ideally 6 or higher. Then you could justify pulling for this costume, just because that's like, so it's very, I would say not many players can satisfy all those conditions, right? You don't have any of what I just said, and your Maritime is like OB6 or higher, then you can. Or of course, right, if you just like Cloud, I mean, because Cloud's costume with Maritime Sword will still be strong, so if you just like Cloud, then yeah, you can also pull for it. Okay, and then let's talk about the next costume. Aerith has Sunny Robe. So her costume is boost HP. I believe all 4 costumes. Yeah, all 4 of them have boost HP, which is good. Boost HP is almost always useful. And then her second one is boost magic attack. This costume, I kind of like it and I kind of don't. So what I like is that these two, HP and magic attack, are pretty useful in most situations. Like anytime you need her to be a magic attacker, right? This costume will be useful for the magic attack. And then HP will always be useful for anything. Like like I said, it's almost always useful. What I don't like is it doesn't do anything special. Like this HP and magic attack is nothing special, right? Like if you compare to like Arcanums, like Cloud does something special. It's all really good for water, plus 20% extra water damage. Magic attack is just okay. Maybe you can use one less sub weapon to max your magic attack. That's usually how it's gonna work. So yeah, so it's good and bad, right? It's good that you can use this for a lot of situations, and then it's bad that it doesn't help you that much though. So it works most of the time, but it doesn't boost you as much as other costumes. Let's look at when could you use this costume. So Aerith, these are Aerith's weapons. So you can use this costume with her egg staff. Right, her egg staff is really strong. It's the strongest fire magic damage weapon in the game that you can draw. So Zack has one that's situationally stronger, but Aerith is the only one right now that you can wishlist. So yeah, the costume would be good with egg staff, especially because you look at egg staff. Egg staff gives HP and fire potency, so no magic attack. So if you main hand this, Aerith is going to be lacking in magic attack. So the costume would go well with that. Of course, Aerith has a fire Arcanum costume, so if you have that, it would be better to pair egg staff with that. But yeah, if you don't have her fire Arcanum, then this would be her next best costume to pair with egg staff. Next we have Snowflake. is it's a tough one because look right here. So Snowflake at OB10, and I don't think you need 120. I think maybe level 110. Maybe you need only a level 110. You're gonna have, for max magic attack, you only need 55 points. If you have more than 55 points, it doesn't help you in any way. So, you see at OB10 level 120, Snowflake already maxes at 62, right? More than 55. So more magic attack just doesn't help her. So her costume's magic attack is not going to help Snowflake when Snowflake is maxed out. But you can look at Snowflake at OB6, level 120 is 54 magic attack. So in that case, the costume would help boost the magic attack from 54 to 64, or it would help Aerith reach the required 55 points. So the costume, while not optimal for Snowflake, like in the long run, right? Because once you get Snowflake to, maybe it's it might be OB7. I don't know. It's either OB7 or OB8. Once you get Snowflake to OB7 or OB8, then the costume doesn't matter. And another thing is, Aerith has a winter outfit. I have it. I can show you. If you have Aerith's winter outfit, then that's also better than the costume. Her Fairy of Snowfall also gives HP like the summer one, and then it gives her Ice Mastery, which gives her 20% extra ice damage, which is gonna be better than the 10 points of just 10 magic points. Yeah. So it has limited uses with her Snowflake, but it still has some uses. The next weapon is Prism Rod. This one is the Wind Magic Weapon. Does 800 wind magic damage at OB10. And just like the Egg Staff, this Prism Rod doesn't give any magic attack stats, so the summer outfit would help in many cases with that 10 extra magic damage. But just like her fire setup, Aerith also has a Wind Arcanum costume, so that if you have that, it would be better than Prism Rod. Does this do any? No. And then the last one the costume would work with, I'd say barely, it's not really, but Wizard Staff. So Wizard Staff is not the C ability is not very strong, right? So at OB10 it only does 540, so that's quite weak. It hits all enemies, but yeah, it only does 540, so that's quite weak. But there are not many lightning magic damage abilities in this game, so if you do want to have a lightning magic damage user, or if you already have Wizard Staff at a high OB, then you could use her as a lightning magic damage user, and her summer costume pairs perfectly with a OB10 Wizard Staff, right? At OB10, Wizard Staff has 46 magic attack, and then her costume would make it 56, right? So you get the exact, or not exact, you get slightly higher than what you need to max out that. Actually, I said the last one, there's also one more, but similarly to her Wizard Staff, you have Wiser Staff, which does earth damage, but it's low damage because it's AoE. Yeah, but I mean, because there's not that many earth magic damage users, there are a few. There are a few, but the only good one right now is Lucia. So if you don't have that, then this is an option. I don't recommend it, but it is an option. And here you see her Wiser stuff. Doesn't add any magic attack, so her costume can boost that up nicely. So summary, so her Aerith summer costume, it's gonna help one weapon, fire weapon. It sometimes helps her ice weapon. It helps her wind weapon. It helps her thunder weapon, and it helps her earth weapon. So you see, it's very versatile, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different setups that you can use. You can use her costume with, right? Because it just boosts magic attack. Any magic build you can, yeah. Okay, so I do like it, but I also don't like it, right? Because it helps just a little bit. I mean, you can, 10 magic attack is good, but you can just use like a sub weapon for it, right? If you really need it, you can use 1 or 2 sub weapons instead of this. But yeah. Okay, and then let's look at Tifa's next. Tifa's lifeguard costume. Boost HP, like all of them, they all have boost HP, and then she gets boost heal, 10 points. So this costume is meant to make Tifa a healer, right? Because you get the boost heal. So let's look at Tifa as a healer. I think I have all her weapons, so I can make a build for Tifa healer. So Tifa as a healer, I mean, I don't have the costume, but her costume would give 10 heal points, right? So if you want her to be a healer, you need this weapon. This is her healing weapon. Her lifeguard reps. Her lifeguard reps are pretty good, I'd say. The R abilities are not good. Look at OB10. At OB10, level 120, it only gives 31 healing points. That's very low. If you compare it to like the meta healers like Matt. Matt's Centipede is like this is like a meta healing weapon. So look at Centipede at OB10, level 120, gives 62 healing points. 62, and then go back. It's like half, right? 31. Tifa's at max only gives half the healing points of like Matt. So the R ability is not that good. And then the second one is very situational, right? It's boost fire resist. Good against fire enemies only, and then useless otherwise. So yeah, R abilities are not good, but the actual R ability is good. 54% healing to all allies, so that's not very high when you compare it to other healers. But Tifa's is the only healing AoE healing ability that costs 4 ATB. So all other healers, including the cure all slots, if you're using a materia, they use 5 ATB to heal. So this is a big advantage of Tifa's healing. So if you don't need that big of a heal, or if you have a lot of good healing sub weapons, then Tifa can be a really good healer, just because it costs her less ATB to heal, which means that means she could heal more often, or it could mean she could use her other abilities. And then look at the materia. This is the main one. She has a heal boost 1 slot, so you can put like a Cura or an Asuna here, and it will heal a lot of single target healing. So her costume, I don't have it, but her summer costume with the lifeguard reps is going to be really good for constantly healing at a small amount, but also you're going to have good single target heals. And then for limit breaks, you can use summons, but you're probably going to use, if you use Tifa as a healer, you probably want Somersault. I mean, because the other ones just do damage, but if you're building her as a healer, she probably doesn't do that much damage, so you want her to be more of a buffer debuffer. So Somersault is really fast, charges really fast, and decreases physical defense and magic defense mid for 30 seconds. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. As for her offhand, you could. I think I have all her weapons. Yeah. As a healer, you want supportive weapons, or one weapon you could use if you just want to go pure healing is Grand Gloves, because Grand Gloves gives a lot of healing points. Not a lot, but I mean a good amount. At OB10, it gives 46 healing points. The second R ability is very, very useless, Water Potency. But yeah, you can use Grand Gloves to give her a lot of healing. It also has a respectable C ability. It's not very useful, but sometimes can be. It's a very strong heal, 130 potency, but it only works on self. So Tifa can only heal herself with Grand Gloves. But the second part is also good. It clears silence and it clears poison. So yeah, it's okay. it's not bad, but it's also not good. This is, you want her to be a pure healer, you can do that. Or you can do Bahamut Knuckles. It's a diamond sigil. So if you need to break diamonds, some bosses have a diamond sigil, so you can do that. You can do Kaiser Knuckles, which reduces magic defense high. You probably don't need it in most cases, but you can, because you don't need it because you have Somersault. Somersault also decreases magic defense, only up to mid, but yeah, it's very similar. The main two ones you're going to use is that you're going to use Leather Gloves, which decreases physical attack high, so that's pretty good. And then the other one is Tiger Fangs, which is the magic version, so decreases magic attack high. That's pretty good. So you can see Tifa as a healer is quite versatile, right? She's going to be constantly debuffing the enemy's defense, physical and magic defense, because low charge speed. And she's gonna do it, and if you time it right, you can interrupt boss attacks with this. So you can constantly interrupt boss attacks and decrease their defense. You can heal AoE and single target, and then you can, like I said, you can do all sorts of extra things like debuff physical attack. You can debuff magic attack. You can break diamond sigils. You can just improve your healing. And then one more, I think. One more. It's an event weapon, but if you have oven mitts, this you can increase physical attack low to mid on your ally. Also gives regen, so you can do that also. So I would say she's a pretty good healer, but let's look at her healing build. The problem with it is, you see, at least this is my Tifa. I mean, maybe you have different. So if I build her to focus on healing, her heal power is not very high. 1400. You're gonna need really strong sub weapons to up that. Put my best ones. Let's see. I can put Centipede and Marching Horn. So I give her 2 healing sub weapons, and her heal is still not that high, 2000. And you know, that's a problem because the potency on her lifeguard wraps is kind of low, right? Because it only costs 40 TB. So her heals are not going to be that good, unless you have you need stronger. Like maybe I can give her one more. Let's see. I think this is my best one. Okay. So okay, I 3 healing sub weapons. Yeah, she's okay, level 9, almost maxed out on healing potency. Still not that high. Why is this still not that high? I think maybe I just need better sub weapons, or it's also not that high just because, right? Her lifeguard reps don't give that much itself, right? Only 17 points here. Um, yeah. So she's a good healer, but not the best, right? So maybe in the future she might get better with more weapons, or if I can just um, get higher heal power from my sub weapons, like if I get more overboots. But yeah. Okay, let's go back to the costumes. Right here. Okay. Oh yeah, and it would also get boosted. Right. So actually, I would max out her healing. I had level 9. Oh wait, I need 20 points here. I don't know how many points I had. I think I had 95 points. So with her costume, then I would actually max out the healing potency. So uh, yeah. So the only way to get more healing is for the weapons to just increase in levels and overboosts for the flat healing stats to go up. Um, um, but yeah, so she's pretty versatile as a healer, right? Like I said, she can do all those things. She can heal AoE single target. She can debuff attack. She can debuff magic attack. She can debuff defense and magic defense. You know, she can do a lot of things. But I think the main thing holding her back is just the heal power. The heal is not that strong. Yeah. Okay. And then let's look at the last costume, Red's Seaside Aloha. So it also gets HP. And then this is like the physical version of Aerith's costume. So instead of magic attack, he gets 10 points in physical attack, which is actually way more useful on Red than Aerith, because Red, I believe, yeah, I'm trying to think. I believe he doesn't have a single weapon that boosts physical attack. So let's look at Red's weapons. It's hard to tell which color is which, but I'll just look at a few, like heal, buff, debuff. His weapons are quite weird. Physical defense, fire resist. I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to check all of them, but I'm pretty sure nothing actually gives physical attack. So the 10 points in his physical attack is almost always going to be useful if you're going to use Red as a physical attacker. So I have all his weapons. So let's look at when would you use Red's costume? When would you use Red's costume? So not these. Okay, one of his newer weapons is Ivy Color. Ivy Color is decreases fire resist and also decreases ice resist. You see here, no, it doesn't give physical attack, but it does give attack and ability potency. So it increases his damage, but not physical attack. And then it has an ice materia slot and a fire materia slot. So if you want to use him, this is mainly as a like supportive kind of build. So you want him to support your team in ice damage or fire damage. You can use his costume here, and then you can use ice blow or fire blow with the Ivy Color. You can do that. You can, if you have leather collar and you just want non-elemental damage, you could use the costume here. The leather collar does up to 940 non-elemental damage, physical. As you see here, again, no boost attack, so that is an option. It's not a very good option because there are lots of weapons in this game that do better non-elemental damage, physical non-elemental damage, than leather collar. But yeah, if you happen to have this at high OB, like mine is actually OB 7, so it's pretty good actually. So you could use leather collar with the costume. Then this is probably one of the better ones. Probably his best use here is Blaze Rush. So this is a fire, single target physical fire weapon up to 750. That's pretty good. Again, you see here no physical attack or ability, right? So you get boost regular attack, boost fire potency. Yeah, just if you want a strong fire red, you can do that. The problem is red already has a costume if you got it. I don't have it, but he had a the Rebirth crossover costume. It increases fire damage by, I think, 15%. So that would be better than his summer costume. And actually, similarly, we talked about Ivy Collar, right? If you're going to use Ivy Collar for ice or fire damage, if you have his Rebirth costume, then yeah, the summer costume doesn't do anything. So there's that. And then is there anything else? I think there's one more, maybe two more. Yeah, actually two more, really. You have Seaside Collar, which lowers thunder resist. It gives HP and lightning potency. So this is a support. You're going to use him as a support, but maybe you want to pair this with Thunder Blow. So you're gonna decrease the lightning resist of the enemy, and then maybe you want to support a little more with Thunder Blows. Then you can use the costume there. Yeah. Then the last one is his Silver Collar. So a Silver Collar is like the Ivy Collar, but for two different elements. It decreases wind resist and it decreases water resist. You see the R ability is no physical attack. It has wind potency slot. You could put Arrow Blow here. It has an attack boost slot. You could put Water Blow here, and then yeah, the costume lore there. But overall, I think Reds is the worst one. As you can see from all the options, like there's only two where he's not using materia, right? If you use, I mentioned materia a lot. If you're using materia, he's just a support, so you don't really care too much to give your support more damage. I mean, more damage is nice, but you don't. It's not going to help you that much. So you only really want his costume if you want to make him a main damage dealer. And if you want to make Red a main damage dealer, a physical damage dealer, then there's only two weapons that really work, right? It's this one and this one. These two weapons. The Leather Collar for non-elemental damage. Technically, it has Earth potency, so you could put Quake Blow here. So yeah, actually, the Red could do everything, but he's relying too much on materia. And materia is very, very weak in this game, so it could work, but it's not ideal. So if we're looking at actual weapons, then he only has two. Leather Collar for, up to 940 physical damage, non-elemental damage, and then Rage Collar, which does fire damage, up to 750 fire damage. Yeah, so okay, let's go back and do a summary of the four costumes. So these are the four costumes, right? Cloud, I already said, can be good. It depends on your account, what you have. Do you need a water physical user? Do you have a strong maritime? I think most people do not need this, mainly because if you really need a water setup, you just pull the Sephiroth banner. You just get Sephiroth. So I think most people won't need it, but some people, if they really like Cloud or they have a strong maritime, then yeah, then you can go for Cloud. Yeah. That's Cloud. Aerith, kind of good. It works on pretty much any of her magic damage setups. So she has fire. It works for fire, ice, wind, lightning, earth, wind. It works, yeah, all six elements. This will help her, but it only helps her moderately. Like, it's a very small boost, so it helps her, but not by much. but I think it looks fantastic. So if you like how it looks, you know, I was actually considering this just because it looks really good. Tifa's is I think I talked the most about Tifa, which it makes her a healer. It gives her boost heal, which is really needed, as you can see, because her lifeguard wraps don't heal that much. So you want all the heal that you can get to boost up that number. So I would say if you don't have this costume, I don't think you would ever really want to use Tifa as a healer. So this costume is probably, I think this costume is the best one of the four, because right, Cloud has so many other options. You just get Sephiroth really. Aerith is good, but just not by much. It's good all the time, but the boost is like really small. So whether you have this or you don't have this, it's not going to be that much. It's not going to make that much of a difference. But Tifa's costume, this pretty much makes her a healer. Which, if you don't have this costume, I would say she's a pretty bad healer without this costume. So this basically it changes the game. Tifa's costume changes the game. Aerith's costume doesn't change anything really. I mean, it could change something, but most of the time it's not going to change anything. Cloud's is good, but he just has a better option in the Sephiroth one. And then the last one, I'd say this is the worst one, just because Red it gives Red physical attack, and Red he's not really a damage dealer. I mean, you can make him a damage dealer, but he's not the best damage dealer in any of the elements. Like, there's better fire, so mainly you can make him any element, right? If you have materia or the weapon, but he's not the best at any of those elements. He's not the best fire physical user. He's not the best ice physical user. He's not the, you know what I'm saying, etc. He's not the best at any of those. Like, so this one you only get this if you happen to have his weapons at high OB already, or if you really like Red. Otherwise, I think this is the worst costume. So yeah, those are my thoughts on these costumes. Let me know if you're gonna pull. As for me, I was really considering it. So let's look at the stamp card. So for me, page 1, I really don't like page 1 because it's nothing special. It's like any other, right? You see, what do you get for page 1? You get a costume and you get a 5-star weapon. Compared to like the other banners, it's the same actually, right? You get a costume and you get a weapon. So it's not better, but it's also not worse than other costumes. But these costumes are old, so they're not as good as like a newer costume in many cases. So you're paying the same price to get an old costume when you could just get a new costume, right? So like, it doesn't make sense to spend the same price to get a Cloud costume when you can just spend the same amount and you get Sephiroth. Like, I'd rather have Sephiroth for water. So I don't like the first page. But when you go to page 2, then that actually changes a lot. So when you go to page 2, you still get one costume for page 2, but you get 1, 2, 3 5-star weapons. That is pretty good. Let's compare to like the other banners. So the other banners, when you go to page 2, it's you only get one 5-star weapon and the costume. Okay, so page 1, nothing special, but page 2, kind of special. You're getting 2 extra 5-star weapons. And it keeps going. So if you go to page 3, you get 3 5-stars, and if you go to page 4, you also get 3 5-stars. So it's only the first page that's not good or bad. So if you do want 2 or more costumes, then it's kind of worth it, just because you get all these extra 5-star weapons. But I don't. I kind of want to. So yeah, I put I put the costumes in order of which ones I want. So the one I want most is Tifa's lifeguard because it, like I said, it changes the game. Like this costume allows her to be a healer. When if you don't have this costume, you never really want to use Tifa as a healer. So this changes the game in a significant way. That's why I want Tifa. And then if I were to pull on page 2, I would choose Aerith. It doesn't change anything. I even have, let me see, how many costumes for Aerith do I have? I have a lot. I think I have the most for her. Sorry. Oh, I only have 3, but okay, I have 3 costumes for her, but they're mostly support. Like I have her Kimura dress, healing and buff debuff extension. I have floral gown, HP and buff debuff. I have the ice one, so this boosts ice damage. So I only have one costume that helps her ice damage, but for the other 5 elements, I don't have a costume for her. I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't really have a costume to help her do more damage. So that's why I want her her costume. And you know, it just so happens that her ice weapon, right, Snowflake, at OB10, right? At OB10, it already maxes magic attack, so she doesn't need this. But her other 5 elements, they never max magic attack, so this would help Aerith do more damage for all her elements, other than ice. So I kind of want this. I also want this because Aerith is my favorite character, and then I also think this costume looks the best. I mean, that's subjective, but I think this is the best looking summer costume, so I do want Aerith second, and then if I go to page 3, then yeah, it would be Cloud. Okay, so to be honest, I only actually want 2 costumes, Tifa and Aerith. I don't care about this, but you know, just saying, if I were to go to page 3, then I would want Clouds. I don't have a strong maritime, so I couldn't even use this really. Even if I have this, I wouldn't really use it. But and I also have Glen's water arcanum, so most of the time I'll just use Glen. I won't use Cloud, but it's an option. If I need 2 water attackers, I could use Cloud and Glen. But yeah, I don't really want this. And then last is like a Red. I don't have much good things to say about him. He doesn't need physical attack. He needs something else. So no, I wouldn't want that. But yeah, so am I gonna pull? I'm leaning towards no. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm leaning towards no. But if I do pull, it would be for Tifa, and then maybe also Aerith. But yeah, I haven't decided yet, but that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.